So many feelings are flowing through me right now. This is not only Father's Day, but this is my anniversary weekend as well. Some of you may have seen my pictures that I posted on Facebook. And it takes me back to the site of our wedding, which was Kailua Beach on the windward side of Oahu. And so many memories, because that ultimately led to my going to Unity Church of Hawaii for my internship while I was training to become a licensed Unity teacher. So many repercussions and outcomes that all started back then. So I'm feeling the aloha spirit really deeply today. All these pictures and all these memories of the islands. Russ wore his aloha shirt today. I'm feeling that love. And this is such a special place in my life, this ohana, which means family. We are a powerful and lovely and loving ohana. So, rooted in love, honoring the fathering spirit. We have a lot of images in our heads when we consider what it means to exude fathering energy. And some of the people that we may think of as guiding us and leading us may be different than what others think of when they think of fathers, but it's all valid. It's all who and what we want to celebrate. Now, today I'm also intertwining two of the roles that I play in the world. One is as a spiritual leader, as a part of the Unity movement, and also as a counselor, a professional counselor, and a mental health professional. Because June is many things, as we've already heard, but it's also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. A topic that often gets overlooked or not really considered. So we know that true strength includes vulnerability, and that mental wellness is a spiritual responsibility truly for all of us. So I invite you to open your hearts to a broader vision of the masculine spirit, and that it does include strength. It does include determination, or will as we consider it in Unity. That it embraces imagination, but that it also prioritizes healing. Because I don't care who you are, where you are, how old you are, how young you are, where you live. We all are needing some healing on some level. But I want to talk about strength first. You know, we think traditionally of the image of a father, of a man, with that armor, with that protectiveness, where it might have kept outside negativity or pain from coming in, but it also, when we wear armor, we keep a whole lot out, do we not? But creating that opening. Because for generations, fathers were told to be stoic, to not let their feelings show. It meant staying hidden if we wanted to convey strength. But really, is that strength? I don't think so. Eleanor Roosevelt, one of my favorite sheroes, said that you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face, to come face to face with fear. That's what strength is. That's being open. It's not about hiding emotion. It's not about pretending everything is okay or fine when you're falling apart inside. That's not strength. Rather, I see it as holding space for the entire array of feelings that we experience on a day-to-day basis. And as Sandra alluded to in the prayer or the peace statement, that we need to feel those feelings and honor ourselves, honor what's happening in and around us, but then also do what's necessary to build our inner strength, to build our inner fortitude. Sometimes we have to have the courage to say, I am not okay. I am not fine. I really need support. And I'm going to open myself to prayer. I know people for whom it takes a lot just to allow themselves to be seen seeking prayer. Well, I encourage you to take advantage of it whenever you can, to call that number that we had on the screen for Silent Unity. Because inner strength builds the more that we lean into healing what has happened that has made us feel vulnerable or uneasy or uncomfortable. In Unity, this power of strength, one of our 12 powers as defined by Charles Fillmore, is the ability to be steadfast, courageous, and enduring. It's not just physical strength, but it's the ability to maintain that strong connection to Source, to feel that sense of being anchored and secure on one's spiritual journey. Because we know sooner or later that the storms are going to blow in, they're going to arise, sometimes unexpectedly, and we need to have that inner strength. We know and affirm for everybody, not just men in this Mental Health Awareness Month, that mental health is health. Health, it's all encompassing. There aren't one aspect of health, there isn't one aspect of health that means more than the other. When we have depression or anxiety or burnout or whatever the case may be, it's not a sign of weakness, it's a signal. And when we see a signal when we're driving, a yellow flashing light, we pay attention, right? If we see a caution sign, we notice that. If we see a red warning flag when we go to the beach, we pay attention. We know that that means something. And all the signals that we get about our mental health are important too. We know that emotional health is sacred. And I've talked to many people that have shared with me that they did not have the best relationship with their father, with whoever provided that parenting energy. Maybe that was your experience, maybe it wasn't. But what we know is that as we tend to our emotional well-being, that we really set in motion the next generation for being more grounded, to really discovering that strength within, and to aligning with our divine nature more fully. So we know that strength isn't about how much is in our bank account, what kind of car we drive, what we're going to do in a traveling after we retire, or anything like that. Inner strength is that inner quality that helps us feel more alive, that helps us feel more empowered to navigate life and to be there for other people when they need us. So for many people, days that celebrate and honor either parent, Mother's Day or Father's Day, they can bring up some ambivalence. They can bring up maybe some longing, a little bit of grief. Maybe it even has to do with relationships with your own children, if you have them, or the other people in your life that you support in parenting their children. Again, we didn't all get what we needed every step of the way, but how about we provide some of that nurturing, fathering energy to ourselves, that we acknowledge what we need, that we acknowledge our own pain and allow ourselves to be kind and gentle and loving and steadfast for ourselves. You know, when I taught self-care for Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute, I always ask my students, is it easier for you to be compassionate for yourself or for other people? Guess what the answer was? 100% of the time. Exactly. It's always easier to be gentle, to be there in a very impactful way for other people, but we don't always give ourselves that benefit of the doubt. We don't act like our own best friend or give ourselves the coaching or nudges that we need. It takes courage to do all of this. So compassion is another quality that I think helps us to heal. It's a blessing whether we give compassion. It can be a blessing to receive it as well. It's that sense of being truly seen, truly acknowledged. And it shows up for others in ways that we're not going to go in and try to fix them. It doesn't mean I'm going to take over and navigate for you, but it means I'm going to sit with you. I'm going to be available. I'm going to pick up my phone when you call. I tell very few people, but a select few when they're navigating some really challenging time, I'm like your alternative to silent unity. I'll pick up the phone 24/7. Not forever, but for this time. We need that. But a father or an individual who is willing to listen is holding sacred ground. A mentor who shows up for somebody that's grieving, that gives that individual a space for healing and a way to feel vulnerable but safe. And isn't that one of the best feelings? Thich Nhat Hanh reminded us that compassion is a verb. What does that mean? It means it's active. It's a practice. It reminds me of our Unity Fifth Principle. That means, you know, it's not just standing by, it's being there, fully present. It means doing the things that are there to be done. And then I found another quote by Gandhi, which takes this a step further. The simplest acts of kindness, he said, are by far more powerful than 1,000 heads bowing in prayer. Now that says something. I had to read it. I had to ponder it. I had to think about it for quite a while. Because when we are able to step up, and some of us got that energy from our parents, our fathers, or our father figures that were really there for us. When that person is truly in your corner, it's life-changing. It gives you a sense of confidence and boldness. I also want to weave in determination, or what we often call in Unity is the power of will. Determination is often quiet. It's showing up again and again and again. Maybe you had somebody that no matter how late you came in or what was going on in your life, they were there for you. They were leaving you notes or giving you words of encouragement. The grandfather who knows how to braid hair, even though his hands really don't work that well. Or the uncle who goes the extra mile to go to a daddy-daughter dance because the dad's not there or not available. There are so many things that we can do. We have mentors that keep showing up for others, even though they might question, as we all have at times, is this really doing any good? Does what I give really matter? That's determination. Determination is when you keep coming back with love, that you're saying, you're enough, and I'm enough, and I'm willing to be in this with you. And that's really what the unity power of will means, that you're willing, that you're committed, that you're engaged, and it's ongoing. And it also allows us to see a course of action and dedicate ourselves to it. And I know many of you are dedicated in a very impactful way to the people in your life. We are here in our spiritual evolution to rewrite stories, to rewrite whatever our prior story was. And we have so many opportunities to reparent ourselves and to recover in so many meaningful ways. Now we know that there are those of us that are in therapy, and hooray if you are, because that is a way to heal and to tend to your own mental health. We have people that are in 12-step programs, hooray, yay. And some are just in reflection, in meditation, in prayer, in the quiet. All of the persistence that we apply to healing gives us countless divine blessings. And then if there's anybody who struggled with their role as a parent, know this, it's not ever too late to try again, to rekindle a connection, to show up in a different way with a new energy, or to reconcile. Reconciliation is not easy, but you know, when we talk about peace, and the peace quote that Sandra shared with us, and I noticed the peace sign in the hallway. If we are going to be peace, if we are going to exude peace and create a world of peace, which seems so difficult right now, it starts with us. It starts with each and every one of us. We don't just put on a t-shirt that says, I am peace and all is well, and we're transformed. It takes some intention. It takes some effort. So one of the ways we can access that, we can envision that, is through our third power that I'm bringing in. I'm really tackling a lot today, but it all seemed to weave together so perfectly. The power of imagination. Now that can be a father superpower, a parent superpower, a leader superpower, and we have a lot of leaders in the room right now. So what is imagination if it's not being able to believe in a future that you can't see? When we think about the future of Unity of Greenville, we can imagine all these beautiful options. And they're coming to life right before our eyes. Go to the community room, go to the prayer room. We are creating the dreams that we've been holding. But imagination is what allows a parent, a mentor, a coach to see and believe that a child is love and that there are so much potential just waiting to blossom when other people are only seeing misbehavior or talking back or bold statements. Imagination is everything. Albert Einstein said, it's a preview of life's coming attractions. And we know that we want to create the right kind of coming attractions, right? We don't want to create things through our worry or fear that take us down the path that is best left untouched. Imagination is the spark behind bedtime stories. I've come up with some of the most imaginative stories for my grandchildren. And one time after I finished, Violet was like, wow, That was a really long story, but I was so into it. I just wanted to keep going and going and going. And that is what imagination can be for us and those with whom we're connecting. It's a spark, and it helps us to stay committed. In unity, imagination represents the power of conception, vision, and embodiment. So we are shaping our thoughts and beliefs all along the way. It takes imagination to believe that you can be more than perhaps what you've seen. Now, I had an interesting relationship with my own father, and I decided not to delve into it, but the good news it was the best that it ever had been. I was the best, and he was the best that we had ever been as he made his transition. That was a gift. And I've thought a lot about him over these last days as I've been putting this talk together. But we know that we have the ability, through our imagination, our strength, our will, to birth new realities. And that's one of my questions for you. What are you birthing now? What is coming up for you? Let's think about the roles that you play and how you can bring more fathering energy, whether it's serving on the board or serving in your community or leading, what's the word? Is it protest? Yes. Some of us are feeling called to protest now, or to claim our own power, or to let it be known what we stand for in the most deep and passionate ways in our lives. So in June and beyond, we know that we want to call forth our spiritual leadership in whatever way that means for each of us individually. We take that next right step for us. It's not only okay, but admirable and spiritual to tend to our inner lives and to become the person that we are truly meant to be. I want to leave you with a closing blessing. So let's just take another deep breath. May you father the future with holy vision. May you see yourself and others through the lens of spirit. May your strength be laced with tenderness. May your imagination birth new possibilities. And may your compassion be your deepest legacy. And so it is.